This place is not a travel destination. This is a travel through our history. If you think about why the Second World War began, it was just because of this. Baltic Sea, Polish access to the sea.
And the creation of Polish corridor with access to the Baltic Sea, separating West and East Prussia.
So that's why Hitler wanted to have this place, to connect these two places separated by Poland. Behind this forest, the first Nazi camp has been created.
For this purpose I went to Gdańsk, today a vibrant city by the Baltic Sea, but once one of the most disputed places in Europe. To understand why Gdańsk became the spark that ignited the war, we need to go back to 1919. After the First World War, the Treaty of Versailles restored Poland's independence and granted it access to the Baltic Sea, that was known as the Polish Corridor. After 123 years, Poland is coming back on the map. But Gdańsk itself wasn't returned to Poland. Instead, it became the Free City of Danzig, formerly under the protection of the League of Nations, yet dominated by the German population.
A beautiful city of Gdańsk, lost by Poles in 18th century and regained in 20th century.
At the time, more than 80% of Gdańsk population was German. But life of Poles among the German majority was far from easy, and soon they would find out just how hard it could become. Before we move on, if you would like, leave a subscribe and comment. Every bit of that kind of support really helped me grow this channel. Thank you very much, and back to the video. I took my son to introduce him to his family roots. In my opinion, it's important to clarify the story of Gdańsk because even today some people refer to it as a German city. Yet, history shows that when one state invades or occupies another, even for a long time, it doesn't gain the right to call the land its own. Gdańsk's past is far more complex, a city shaped by different cultures but always deeply connected to Poland.
You can't deny this is one of the most beautiful streets, Amber Street. We call it Mariacka Street. The most popular product selling here is the stones of amber from Baltic Sea. This is amber.
Diamond.
It's not diamond, it's amber. It's Neptune, the mythological god of sea, obviously Baltic Sea. One of our symbols of beautiful city, Gdańsk.
For Germany, this was a painful symbol of lost Gdańsk. For Poland, a fragile hope of freedom and connection with the world. When Hitler came to power in the 1930s, tension grew with every year. The Third Reich demanded that Gdańsk be returned to Germany. On the morning of September 1st, 1939, at 4:45 a.m., German battleship Schleswig-Holstein opened fire on Westerplatte. I decided to set off from Gdańsk Old Town by boat, heading through the shipyard area toward the Westerplatte Peninsula, the place where the first shots of World War II were fired.
Okay, we took the tour to Westerplatte to show you how it looks like from the position of a battleship. It is so fast ship. Woo!
Today, even though this route passes through working shipyards, it's still part of local life and everyday activity. People move along the waterways, watch the ships, enjoy the views, something I can definitely recommend. After 40 minutes of sailing, we reach Westerplatte, a small Polish military depot located here, in the free city of Danzig.
Każdy z Was, młodzi przyjaciele, znajdują też w życiu jakieś swoje Westerplatte, jakiś wymiar zadań, które musi podjąć i wypełnić, jakiś porządek praw i wartości, które trzeba utrzymać i obronić. Obronić dla siebie i innych. Jan Paweł II. As a child, I was playing here and I just pretend I'm fighting with the enemy. It passed 80 years since I attacked, so obviously it's quite dangerous right now to go through. But you still can have a look how it looks like when the Polish soldiers were fighting with the Germans, and the bomb has been dropped here. So this is what left after that historical battle. This place is symbolic. A small peninsula, Westerplatte in Gdańsk, the place where the Second World War began. The German battleship Schleswig-Holstein arrived here before September, in the middle of August, commemorate the German soldiers who died here in 1940. But 1st September 1939, at 4:45, suddenly, without warning, the attack began. Westerplatte is surrounded by Germans, cut off from the land and blocked from the sea. 200 soldiers, Polish soldiers, against 3,000 German soldiers, fighting here by 7 days. After one day being captured, they had been sent to labor camp deep into Germany, but some of them has been sent to Stutthof, not far from Gdańsk. And right now I'm going to show you one of the most important Nazi camps in Stutthof.
The next day I went to the camp located just 60 kilometers from Gdańsk. It was no coincidence that this place was chosen by the Nazis. Isolated by the city, hidden among forests and surrounded by a German population sympathetic to National Socialism. It was the perfect location for the murderous plan. There was no escape from this place.
Right now we have very good access from Gdańsk to Stutthof. We call it the Mierzeja Wiślana. 2nd September, this camp has been built for the prisoners. Over here, there was the train, and the train was going from Gdańsk, and the prisoner has been transported here to Stutthof, and they have been sent to the camp, which I will show you in a minute.
That villa has been inhabited by the commandants of Stutthof camp.
120,000 people were through this camp, and 65,000 people died in this camp. But here in this villa, there was normal life. But behind this villa, the level of suffering was bigger than you can imagine. We are right now in the place with the historical emotional weight. And that column, there was the old barracks, prisoners' barracks. Some of them doesn't exist anymore, but there are statues just to remind us how many barracks was over here. This is a place where transporters were prepared, execution. Everyone had to go through this building, and then they had to cross the gate. So some prisoner could buy here a toothpaste, they could buy some kind of paper or post stamp. Life exists here as well in some kind of, because maybe some of us, you may don't know, the camp become the place of work. Firstly, it was the purpose to keep these people alive.
In the early years of the war, prisoners at Stutthof were forced to work in nearby factories under the Luftwaffe, producing airplanes parts as well as in local farms. They labored at long hours in harsh conditions, often without proper clothing or tools. Living conditions were brutal: overcrowded barracks, minimal hygiene, and meager food ration consisting of a few slices of bread, thin vegetable soup, and weak coffee. The combination of hard labor, starvation, and disease quickly led to exhaustion and death. Initially, it was a camp for Poles from Gdansk and political prisoners, but later people of other nationalities were also brought there. In 1942, systematic extermination was introduced, mainly targeting Jews, carried out by shooting them in the back of the head in the nearby forest. Gas chambers were also used, including for killing those who were no longer able to work, among the Poles. Stutthof also employed an innovative method for the time, a mobile gas chamber, installed in the transport train wagon. And the train was going through this gate and stopped by the crematorium.
Obviously, as you can imagine, during the extermination, they allowed and hear about 3 bodies in one. See what people can do, other people, and how dangerous is ideology and discrimination any other nation.
I always leave Gdansk with the same sense of nostalgia. This city has shaped me deeply. I was born in the area once known as Polenhof, a place where a small group of Poles founded the first Polish secondary school and parish, the one I belonged to, whose priest was killed in Stutthof. I was also part of Gdania, the first Polish sport club in the free city of Gdańsk. I grew up where people fought so that future generations could live in a free Polish Gdańsk. I dedicate this film to their memory.